Hey everybody, I'm Gans the Gainer, and this is MTG Arena News and Updates, the show where we scour the internet for all the new and exciting things going on in MTG Arena that you may have missed, and condense it down into a short video. I will now pass it over to Dr. Venture Sr. to talk about the first thing.
Most recently, we had Quick Singleton mode introduced into MTG Arena. What's Quick Singleton, you ask? Well, it's basically a Highlander format where you can play a single copy of each non-basic land in a 60-card deck with no standard ban list. Unless, of course, you're playing Rat Colony, which, as the card text explains, a deck can have any number of cards named Rat Colony. And we found out unexpectedly on stream when we first attempted to play Quick Singleton. Though, this can be answered with a timely Ixalan's Binding, or as Reddit user Metalcrafter found in a recent match, a well-played Lost Legacy. Now, Quick Singleton operates as a pay-to-play structure as opposed to ladder ranked, which is free. So, for 500 gold, or a 95 gem entry fee, you enter into a tournament of single-game matches, or best of one, with the first to 7 wins, or 3 losses. The rewards for the wins are as follows. 0 wins gets you 100 gold and 3 uncommon cards. 1 win qualifies you for 200 gold and 3 uncommon cards. 2 wins, 300 gold, 3 uncommon cards. 3 wins, 400 gold, 3 uncommon cards. 4 wins, 500 gold, 2 uncommon cards, and 1 rare card. 5 wins, 600 gold, 2 uncommon cards, 1 rare card. 6 wins, 800 gold, 1 uncommon card, and 2 rare cards. And the top prize of 7 wins qualifies you for 1,000 gold, 1 uncommon card, and 2 rare cards. And as always, each uncommon card can get an upgrade to a rare or mythic. And so, with the introduction of Singleton into MTG Arena, this naturally begs the question, could this pave the way for Brawl, or possibly Commander, to be introduced next into MTG Arena?
Which is a question that was asked by Boots from the YouTube channel Snapkeep Arcade in a recent interview he did at GP Vegas with the principal game designer, Christopher Clay. And it was fully acknowledged that yes, this is a step towards Brawl, but there are many challenges for them to overcome before it can actually be implemented into the client. So don't hold your breath on seeing Commander soon, but it's definitely still on the table for being a feature in the game. One of the questions asked of Chris was about the inclusion of social functions, such as friends list, the ability to challenge your friends, chat, and whatnot. He did disclose that obviously, they are planning on bringing it in. I don't think that was any secret that they've been doing that for any time. But that they're not overly focused on bringing chat in, but they do want to bring a friends list into the game that will be globally integrated into other Wizards products. But the bad news is, because of that integration, the earliest we're going to probably see it is at the end of the year, potentially longer, because there isn't a nailed down timeline yet. But this is something that's near and dear to us because we want to duke it out, me and Dr. Venture, and we can't seem to get into the same game just by queuing, so that's something we're looking forward to. The interview covered plenty of things, like the prospects of multiplayer, the inclusion of digital codes, and more, so I highly recommend you go and check out the original video, as it contains more detail on what we've covered here, as well as plenty more. The final thing we're going to talk about from the interview is something that Chris dubbed Open Play. This is a deck-based matchmaking system that is at least internally in the works and sounds like it could be actually coming to the game at some point. Deck-based matchmaking was explained as matchmaking that is based on the deck that you're running. Each deck is given a score based on the cards that are included and how those cards are performing currently in Standard. And that is used to match you against another deck that is in the same range. The idea being, if you're trying a janky idea like, I don't know, all rats in a rat colony deck, who would ever do that, you're going to be matched with some other similar crazy idea deck. Not a tier 1 red deck wins, so you might have a chance to kind of maybe win. And if you're running your red deck wins, you're not just going to stomp over somebody in the rat colony deck.
And since Chris Clay is such a wealth of information, being the principal game designer, we go over to the June 20th State of the Beta from the beta forums, wherein he covers many interesting tidbits of information concerning the game. First up on the list, timers. What the clock? Timers are apparently a hot button issue, but long story short, They are trying to combat intentional slow play without punishing innocent players, so that they can offer a snappy, fast-paced Magic experience without sacrificing any of the strategic depth. With respect to draft, the most popular request being pod drafts with other humans, it is eventually coming, but not something that they could give a hard date on. Another request that we found interesting, which is not something that we'd actually thought of previously, was the request for opponent hand shuffling animations, so that they would actually bleed less information. Now that is something that seems to be a request from a much higher level of gameplay than what we around here are accustomed to, but nonetheless, it is still a very interesting insight into the way the game is played and developed. Graveyard targeting was another subject that was brought up, with the request for improving the showing of the targets for clarity's sake, so that you could have specified graveyard hate counteract the actions of an opponent. And one of the other things that I found interesting, which is something that I've come across plenty of times in my own experience, was the request for better illustrations and clarity as to what was happening with the scrying process. Because as we know, in the physical world, when an opponent scries to either the top or the bottom of the library, you can clearly tell. However, in MTG Arena, there isn't really much of a give on that, so you can't tell if they are going with a card that they opt for, or they are gambling to see what they might top deck next. And so with that, we have a quick summation of the June 20th State of the Beta forum post, but for more information on that, you can definitely click on the link that we have in the description below.
Thanks for watching. This has been the first episode of MTG Arena News and Updates. This is a new video format for us, so if you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. Also, if you have any comments, suggestions, or if we've missed any news stories, let us know in the comments below, and hopefully we'll catch you in the next one.